Hello everyone, this is Debbie from Project 39 Mini Albums, and I'd like to show you some cards that I made, and I used the July 2020 Sheetload of cards. If you're not familiar with it, Alicia from Call Me Crafty Al YouTube channel comes up with a sheetload of cards every month on the first of the month, and she kindly shares the cutting guide on how to make these cards. Now you can make one cards or you can make however many cards using the pattern that she has. In July, it showed you how to make 8 cards. I stayed pretty true to the sketch from July 2020, but for an embellishment, I did add a hand-painted snowman. And I'm going to show you real quick how I made the snowman. Alright, so I'm going to show you what I used to get started. First of all, the stamp I'm using, it's an Art Impressions Snowman Set. I'm using Tim Holtz Distress ink to ink it. I don't want to ink in black because that's just too black. You might like that look, but I want something a little more muted. I'm using the Tim Holtz Tonic Studios stamping platform, and I'm using Nina cardstock. I'll get into my alcohol markers in a little bit. Let's get coloring. So, full disclosure, I am not an alcohol marker expert. To be honest, I don't even have lots of Copic markers. I might have 1 or 2. I don't even know. I have all these off-brands that were gifts or I got really inexpensively. So I'm just playing around. All right, I'm taking the blender and I'm going near the edge of the outside of the snowman. Because I don't want there to be a hard line when I put down the first color. And I'm going with the lightest gray I have. And I'm gonna, so the sun's gonna come from this direction. So I know down here is going to be darker than right here. This is going to be plain white. And I'm going to really keep it very simple. I mean, he's a snowman. He's 3 balls of snow. So have a little bit more over this side and down the bottom. All right, now we'll go the next shade up and just put a little more shadow down here, a little there. And that's probably about it. Going to go back with the blending. And back with that lightest shade of gray that I used. To blend that darker shade. I'm going to go a little bit around the kohl buttons, around the nose, under the eyes. I'm going to leave the mouth alone because there's not much, but I will go under the hat. And then a little bit next to the scarf. Okay, that's really all I'm going to do for the snowman. Now I'm going to use the same light shade of gray and put on the hat. Now there's a band there. Do the next shade darker. And then the darkest shade. Now this is cool gray. That was Cool Gray 3. This is Cool Gray 5. And then this is Cool Gray 9. See, I probably am even missing 7, but that's okay. Like I say, I'm not an expert when it comes to alcohol markers. I just grabbed a couple to color, and I have fun doing it. And I do what looks good to me. I don't know if it's the right way, but like I said, it looks good to me. All right, now I'm going to color the scarf. So the scarf is going to be red, but I want it to be an orangey red. So I'm really going to go over it in this papaya color. This one is an Artist Loft alcohol marker. And Artist Loft is the Michaels brand. So I have red to use for shading. It's a purpley red. If I used gray for shading, well, no, it's too dark. Yeah, I don't like the look. I was just playing around with it. Now I'm going to take the only red I have, which is coral red. I mean, this is really a true red. But I think if I stick with that main color of that papaya, then it's going to be more orange than red. Try to focus. So I'm going to just take a tiny dot of this Spectrum Noir. It's called DR5 dark red, I guess. I'm going to add some fringe to the bottom of the scarf because I don't want a different band of color, which you could have here. So since I don't have that fun color, I want fringe. I forgot to do his nose. So his nose is a carrot nose. And since I have this orange in my hand, I'm going to add some highlights. Whoops, wrong end. And we will grab the papaya again to shade his carrot nose a little more here at the base of it. And all right, two things. I'm going to grab this Master Touch Fine Art Studio. I guess that's Hobby Lobby. It's a graphic 0.3. And just going to add a couple crisp lines. So around the eyes, I'm going to go just sort of doing a C stroke like that, or more like that, down the bottom of the eyes. Because of the alcohol ink, it's a little fuzzy, and this helps crisp it up a little. And it darkens it just a shade darker. We'll do some down here. And there. And I'll put some here. And I will add some black lines to the fringe. That'll help shade that a little bit. Okay, that is done. Now I'm going to grab my Ranger white opaque pen. So it's a gel pen, and I don't get that. I don't know. The ink just doesn't come out that well, so I have to prime it. And I'm just adding that glimmer to his eyes, a little bit to the coal. A line on his head. Oh, I forgot to color that. And shade that too. Add a touch of orange. And then go back with my white pen, and I'm just adding a line down there. And I'm going to add a little detail to the scarf. So first of all, I'm going to add some lines as if to highlight the fringe. And then I'm just going to gently go down the scarf, making the line sort of choppy. And you don't want it straight because the scarf is fabric. So it just adds a little bit of detail to the scarf, makes it look like a weave. And that's really all I'm going to do as far as coloring. So I'm just going to show you a close-up of what he looks like all colored up. And then I'm going to cut him a little bit. So I'm going to go just a smidgen inside the line so you see just a tiny little bit of the outline, if any. Here I'm going to go inside so you don't see any because you don't need it. And then when it comes to the hat, you can see I did a lot of over coloring, so I'm going to trim off. And this is rounded. Trim off. And it just gives you a little more crispness. And at the bottom, I'm just going to round it. You know, it doesn't follow the exact outline. So he's pretty cute, huh? All right, so he's going to end up on the card. I like the red, or the, yeah, it matches with this papaya color. I think I want to pop him up though, so let me get some other material. So here I'm taking some fun foam, which is self-adhesive, making a stamp of the snowman on it and cutting inside the lines just so it doesn't show underneath when I glue it on there. Another thing you could do is adhere this before you cut out the shape. But I'm going to just trim so you don't see any of the fun foam, attach it to the colored image, and then put it onto the card. And then something that I want to do, just because I don't want him to seem like he's floating in midair, is I'm going to ground him by putting a shadow below. And that's how I made these two versions of the cards. It is, again, the July 2020 sheet load of cards. I'll put it in the description box below, and also the information on the stamp that I used. Hope you liked it. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button. And if you haven't already, please go ahead and subscribe. Thanks again. Have a great day.